Srimad Bhagwad Gita, Chapter 2, Sloka 62. So, Sloka 62 and 63 are important shlokas. The topic is anger. So, when someone has anger, they can chant this shloka. So, it will cool down. Okay? So, Usha Baji, we will do chanting Shloka 62. Dhyayato
ध्यायतो
Vishayan Pumsaha
विषयान् पुंसः
Sangaste
सङ्गस्ते
Shupajayate
उपजायते
Sangat Sanjayate
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते
Kamaha
कामः
Kamat Krodho
कामात् क्रोधो
Vijayate
जायते
Shloka 63 Krodhat Bhavati
क्रोधात् भवति
Sammoha
सम्मोहः
Sammohat
सम्मोहात्
Smriti Vibhramaha
स्मृतिविभ्रमः
Smriti Bhramshad
स्मृतिभ्रंशात्
Buddhinasho
बुद्धिनाशो
Buddhinashat
बुद्धिनाशात्
Pranashyati.
प्रणश्यति.
Thank you. Now we will do the meaning part. Shloka 62. Dhyayata, that is thinking. Vishayan, sense objects. Pumshaha, of a person. Sangaha, attachment. Teshu, to them, that is sense objects. Upajayate, arises. Sangat, from attachment. Sanjayate, develops. Kama, desire. Kamat, from desire. Krodha, anger. Abhijayate, arises. Here Sri Krishna ji has said, while thinking too much on the objects of the senses, one develops attachment to them. Attachment leads to desire, and from unfulfilled desires arises anger. So here Sri Krishna ji is teaching us what is the cause of anger, why one gets anger. So he is explaining that our senses are eyes, nose, ears, skin and tongue. So sense objects are the things that we are attracted towards due to our senses. You know, like you see chocolate and you feel like eating the chocolate, but we know that chocolate is not good for health. So that chocolate, how do we get attracted to the chocolate? The eye see it, the tongue says, wow, it is very tasty, we should eat it. So this is the way the sense organs and the senses works. So we will take a situation that we are not able to eat the chocolate, but in our mind, still the chocolate is moving around, and we are thinking so much of that chocolate that we got attached to it, and we are not able to eat the chocolate. What happens? Slowly and gradually we start getting the anger, because you have the desire to eat the chocolate, but you are not able to eat the chocolate. So that causes anger. So, what is the root cause? The senses. We need to control our senses. So, when we control our senses and when you are happy with what you have, your anger will go down automatically. It will go down to drastic level. Basically, when a person gets anger, when we expect something and we don't get, when you plan a day and your plan doesn't work, right? Then we get angry. Oh, I have planned this, but it is not there, right? Akriti plans to go to play, but she doesn't go, so she'll get angry. So this is the root cause. How do we plan? We plan according to our senses. Okay, I like this, I like that, this will be good, this will be that. We plan accordingly that, right? Do we plan that we don't like and we plan this? We don't do that. Whatever we don't like, we don't plan in that. So all the root cause is the senses, the expectations, the desires. So the desires causes the anger, because we have some desire, we are not fulfilling it, we are not able to fulfill. Sometimes we are not able to fulfill. You know, it is like you're planning, 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 and it is not there. It happens with everyone. I'm sure everyone has come across many situations, not one, many situations. We plan and it doesn't work at all. It's totally fine. You should not be attached to your plan or your desires. You should have controlled desires, basically, no desires. When there are no desires, there is no anger. Correct? Try. It is very easy and it is very simple. So, for this trying, you can chant the shlokas. So, chanting the shlokas will help you. This is what it helped me. You know, even my husband used to say, ignore, ignore, ignore. I used to tell how to ignore, make me understand that. Then this Bhagwad Gita has come. Chanting was going on, going on, going on. And slowly and gradually everything is on the track. It is not yet completely, but it is on the track. So chanting is necessary for many, many years. Throughout your last breath, you have to chant. Many of them says me, how much should we do chanting? I am chanting from 3 months, I am chanting from 1 month. You should consider that your soul has done so many janmas and the soul is carrying forward all the karmas. You have done just 1 month chanting, how will it get compensated? We have to do for years. If you want some magic through Bhagavad Gita, then you have to chant for years. Then only the results are seen. So, okay, we'll come back to this shloka. Basically, Sri Krishna ji is telling us what is the root cause of anger. Anger comes first, the senses create the desires, and when the body is not able to fulfill the desire, it leads to anger because we are thinking so much of that desire that we get attached to that desire, and then when we get attached to it and when it is not fulfilled, it leads to anger. We learn that we should control our senses, control our desires, and be happy with what we have. Akriti.
So Radha Krishna is telling that we should be happy with whatever we have, because sometimes when in a situation we plan something for a day and that desire doesn't come true, then we will get angry. So that's why you should control our senses and our desires. So sometimes when we are fulfilling a desire, it don't come and we will get angry. So Rashi Krishna is telling us to control our senses.
Very good. So we are learning this to use in our life, to imply in our life. We all are understanding, we are learning to use it in our life. It is not just that it is still only this class. After the class also in your life, everyone has to try to imply it, try to use it. ठीक है रितु भाभी.
Yeah, so in this shloka, Krishna ji says that the root cause of anger is unfulfilled desires, which come because we have no control over our senses. For example, if I have a 2 BHK house and my friend gets a 4 BHK house, and I keep on nagging my husband, I also want a bigger house. And if it's not possible, then I start getting frustrated, angry. So Bhagwan ji says you should limit your desires, which will not lead to anger.
बहुत बड़ा डिजायर है. अंजलि मैम, गुड वन, गुड एग्जाम्पल.
Here in this sloka, what Shri Krishna tells is like whenever, for any human being, whenever they see or they think of something, they'll develop interest towards it, and that interest will become their desire and their aspire to get that. So whenever they don't get the things whichever they want in their life, they'll start getting frustrated and they'll start getting angry towards that.
So what we have to do?
So we have to control our senses.
Thank you, ma'am. Senses and desires.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can I?
Wait. Kusha Buaji.
Here, Lord Krishna is telling us to control our desires and the senses so that we are not go to the anger and all. So we have to control our desires and senses. So we are motivation is to chant the sloka to control our angry.
Thank you. Yes, Anchi.
So here Lord Sri Krishna is telling us that, so for example, we plan to go somewhere out and with some other people, they cancel to come and we get angry. So we should not be so excited before we plan. Before we
Correct. That is the 100% true.
That has happened to me so many times.
Okay.
I was going out with my friend
Uh,
and they cancelled.
Acha, oh sad. Why did they cancel? Dekh lo.
I
Now
don't.
Shloka 63.
Well, one more thing is there. There's a GRS water park in Mysore. My cousins and Saket had gone. I was. They told even we'll take me and my other cousin. We are 2 years difference. They were like then they were like no, we won't take you. Then I got fully angry.
Didn't took you? Very bad. Huh? All these big siblings were very naughty ones. है ना?
That was because of my brother. The other people were okay with us coming.
So you are having too much of fun in your life. Don't worry, huh? These all are golden memories. When you grow up, you will enjoy remembering all these
So my
moments.
father told me I'll take you to Wonderland. I won't take Saket.
Ah, good. When you are going to Wonderland, tell me. I will also come. Plan for Sunday. Shloka 63 is also the topic anger. Here, Krodhat from anger, Bhavati comes, Sammoha, clouding of judgment, Sammohat from clouding of judgment, Smriti, memory, Vibhramaha, bewilderment, Smriti Bhramshat, from confusion of memory, Buddhi Nash, destruction of intellect, Buddhi Nashat, from destruction of intellect, and Pranashyati, one is ruined. Now, Sri Krishna ji is saying that anger leads to clouding of judgment. So, what is clouding of judgment? What are clouds? If you see clouds, are they uniform? They are not uniform, na? They are just, all the clouds are just, no, either they are scattered or they are one upon another. So, it is not uniform or in a pattern. They are just together. So, this is what anger leads to clouding of judgment. We are intellect judge things, right? That is why we behave, the after the judgment we react, we take decisions. So anger will lead to clouding of the judgment, which in turn results in bewilderment or confusion of the memory. When the memory is confused, the intellect gets destroyed, and when the intellect is destroyed, the person is ruined. Obviously, when our mind is not stable, the person is obviously ruined. So, anger is very dangerous. It causes only all negative effects. So, our mind is not stable. Why the mind is not stable? Because the memory is confused. Why the memory is confused? Because the judgment is fully clouded, it's all mixed up, messed up. Why it is messed up? Because of the anger. So when we are anger, we are not in our own self. We are too much anger, and that leads that everything is confused. They are not able to understand what is going on, and all the wrong judgments take place. The intellect is also in the bad state. So overall, the person is not in a good state. So anger is very dangerous. So here in this shloka 63, Shri Krishna ji is saying what are the side effects of anger, or what are the effects of anger, what happens, because we cannot see all these things. Can we see that intellect is destroyed, or our judgment is clouded, or memory is confused. We cannot see, we can only feel it. So he's explaining that these are the effects of the anger. So one has to control the anger. It is very difficult, but still we have to keep on trying. We have to keep on trying, and we have to train ourselves. We have to keep on training ourselves. No? There are so many things which leads to anger. So many things. We have discussed so many things till now. And Sri Krishna ji has shown us several points through which the senses go out of control or desires arises and anger comes. So we need to be controlled human being, follow his instructions and chant the shlokas. So basically in this shloka, these are the effects of anger, and anger is very dangerous. Yes, Ushabaji.
Here, Lord Krishna is explaining us to what the anger is doing. So we have to control our anger. That anger is confusing our all the intellectual mind. The mind is not stable, and we are not able to sleep either. We are not able to walk thoroughly. We are just thinking of that desires only. That from the anger comes, and we wanted to do that only. So that Krishna is saying that you first control your anger, control your senses, control your desires, so that mind will be always stable. If mind will be stable, then you will see the through all everything is equanism.
Thank you, Buaji. Ritu Babi.
So here Krishnaji explains how anger leads to the destruction of a person. If you have anger which comes from unfulfilled desires, your judgment is clouded, you are not able to understand the situation properly, which makes you take wrong decisions. Your intellect is fully clouded and misjudgments are happening, which again leads to your self-destruction. So ultimately, anger leads to destruction, nothing else.
Thank you. Akriti.
Yes, ma'am. So Lord Shri Krishna is telling that we should control our anger, we should control our mind, we should control our intellect, and our intellect. So Lord Shri Krishna is giving example of cloudness. When it rains, it will become cloudy, very cloudy, and come it will start raining very soon. Like that also, our mind is fully clouded when our desire is not fulfilled and we get angry. So Rashtra Krishna is telling us that we should control our anger.
Very good. Thank you, Sanchi.
Yes, ma'am. So here Lord Shri Krishna is telling that he is explaining what will happen if we become angry. For example, yesterday we planned to go to the movie. What happened was the time was already up. We cancelled it. I got angry. The
Okay.
latest Jurassic World.
Oh, so what do we learn? What you have to do?
We should try to control ourselves before the thing happening.
And suppose the thing doesn't happen then?
We should not get too excited before it happens.
Correct. So we need to control our senses, our desires, you know. So what are desires? I want this, I want that, I want to go there. All these are desires. We need to cut off that I want. And you should be like, I'm happy. I'm okay, I have enough and I'm happy with what I have.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
my father told me before last 2 months before I will buy you a new cycle in between this month and it 2 months is after this still don't have it.
I think you have too many desires. What your dad will do?